Alright, as you can tell, I've already cut out a few of these dividers for my drawers, but after I put them in there, they're too tall. I have to make the boxes big enough to get my fat hands inside of to pick up little small parts, which is mainly what's being stored in here. Things like this. So I've decided to make the drawer or the dividers about 1 inch shorter, and I think I'm ready to make, this is like 4 separate tests. And so now, because I was trying to get my slots in the right place, for some reason they're just not lining up. I think it's because the way I clamped the drawers together, I squeezed the sides too tight, and so it didn't, the geometry didn't come out perfectly. Anyway, I'm going to give it a shot now. First thing I've got to do is drill 4 holes up there so I can put some screws in to hold this thing down. I'm not really worried about how high or low because everything that I'm cutting is cutting all the way through. So this is the tool path that I'm cutting right here. And as you can tell, I made some cabinet doors the other day. And anyway, so that's what I'm going to cut out. I figure I'm just going to cut out 4 at a time and try them out. First thing I do is drill the holes, then I stop the tool path, put the screws in, then restart it again. I find it's easier to hit the emergency button to stop the tool path because that way I can just pick back up where it left off. It tells me what line it stopped on. But in my future spoil board, I do have a plan of putting inserts in certain places and then having them mapped to where I can drill a hole to where those inserts are. And I can use machine screws instead of this. That way I won't be always drilling new holes in my spoil board. That's going to be a big project though, because it's going to require, I don't know, a couple hundred. But I think it'll be the next upgrade. Because this T-track that I put in here, it's mildly useful, but it's definitely not. It's not my preferred way of doing it. Alright, so this stopped at line 153. So I'm going to tell it to pick up at line 154. I have to home it first. And it's really nice that on my display here, it actually will tell you where it's going to go when you do this. Let me show you what I mean. It's really nice when you tell it that you want to start at a certain line. So I want to sit here and go jump to line. And let's just say 154. And if I say start from line, if you look over here, it'll put an X where it's going to end up. So that means it's going to start down there at the bottom left corner, which is exactly where I want it to start because I've already drilled the holes. The very next thing it needs to do is to start cutting slots. Alright, let me unscrew the center part and take them down there and try them out. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. The reason I ran 3 passes on this is because all my other tests, this ended up getting really fuzzy. But this looks pretty good. And I have to remember, because I've been trying to make sure that those grooves line up, even though you would think they would have perfectly lined up, but they didn't. So I'm just going to mark what's the front left side. So if I have to swap them around, I know which way I turned them. Anyway, let's take them down there and try them out. I can't remember if I actually showed y'all or not, but anyway, these are the new drawers. Yeah, this is where I got them mounted. And when I make some more, now that I know what I'm going to do, I definitely won't be doing 1-inch grids. It's just that was a waste of time. But I didn't know what I wanted, you know. So essentially, there's roughly 16 square feet of storage space in here. And this was the previous ones that I put in, and I didn't like them. Like I said, they're about 3 inches deep. This pocket is bigger than I need smaller ones, you know. And so maybe I'll use this for, you know, separating stuff like that if it was shorter. But I think generally speaking, I think these other ones are going to work out well. And this is what I was talking about. My you can see how where's my, it's over here. You can see how I'm off. And it was off farther this way. And then I compensated what I thought was enough, and I overcompensated, so now I'm too far that way. So hopefully this is this one's going to be just right. So I'm going to take this out. It still works, but, you know, if you got an opportunity to make something perfect, you might as well. Yeah, that's a lot better. These front pockets will have to be kind of custom cut because they don't line up with the grid. But what I'm hoping is that I can do something about that wide. And let's see if something fits in it. So my plan is that you can just kind of put these in here at an angle and snap them in. That worked. Yeah. That worked just fine. Oh yeah, and I can get my fingers down there and everything. Let me space them apart. I don't know. Let me space them apart just one spacer here. See what happens. See if that's useful. If that's useful, that would be great. That's right on the edge, but I'll tell you what. Let me try something real quick. You know, as a first test, that actually is working out really good. I can get down there even when you got drawers that are mostly empty. I can still get these screws out relatively easy. So, but most of the drawers aren't going to be like totally empty like that. That basically tells me it's time to restock. But, yeah, I got my Robertson screws and finishing nails, and this cleared out 2 rows of my little plastic organizer box, and I still got all that drawer left to go, and I got 4 more to go. So I think I'm gonna call that a success, and on to the next project. Thanks for watching.